First play of the game, we're going blind pig.
We're gonna go blind pig.
Blind pig, yeah.
So I'm also a big fan of the blind pig action.
The only reason we're running this.
Hello and welcome to the Blind Pig podcast. Really excited for a special episode today where we have our first British player on the pod. Absolute star for the Bristol Flyers this season. Potential sixth man of the year. He's definitely in consideration. We're joined by Jonathan Brown. JV, how are you doing, man? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How you doing?
Yeah. Oh, so good. We have loads of Flyers fans and they're consistently telling me to try and get you on. So honestly, I feel absolutely blessed that you're on. And especially because, like, you are a man that is so busy. Like, you're a basketball player, you're a vlogger, you're a chef, and you even cut your own hair.
Yeah.
How are you finding time, bro?
Oh, man, I just planning my days out here and there, just attacking stuff. I have my little to-do list every morning, so it's good.
Dude, when I saw the video of you cutting your hair, I was like, is he really fading the back of his hair? Do you really do the back as well when someone else did that for you?
Me, I got two mirrors. I got my big mirror in the bathroom. I got a little handheld mirror, and I'm just there fading it, looking back, looking forward, make sure I get it all right.
That's absolutely crazy, man. When I was at uni, I was totally like cheaping out. I used to cut my own hair, and it looked shit, bro. Like, my hair was it was so bad. And I see you on the zone, and it just looks crisp, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, it took me a while. I started learning in COVID, so 2020, and the first couple, terrible, very bad. But thankfully, I didn't go outside, so no one saw it. So as soon as I got better, yeah, it got a little easier.
Is that just like a statement of like the quality of Bristol in Bristol? Like, they all just, I play that fast, so I'd rather cut my own hair.
Well, it's got to that point now where I'm like, I feel like I do it well enough to the point where I don't need to go to a barber anymore. So save myself a bunch of money and a bunch of time.
Nice. I don't want to throw shade too early, but like, we all seen Owen McCormack's latest haircut, so you know, it's it's all good. Anyway, I'm digressing. Probably because I'm salty still from you guys beating Sheffield on the weekends. But that neither here nor there. We're here to focus on you, bro. And obviously, really exciting because you're somebody who has been a British prospect and has really gone out there and made it, man, and made it as like a pro hooper. And we're loving to kind of run through the journey. I want to start all the way back at Barking Abbey, if that's cool. And I suppose for anyone who knows UK hoops, that is like one of the elite environments. I suppose, how did you end up at Barking Abbey? What was it like? How did it help shape you?
So I went to Barking for my last year of sixth form, so I went for my third year. So I was at Canterbury High for 2 years prior with Jesse Suzanne, Hidden Bedo, and Adam Davis. And it was good for me because I was coming out of secondary school. Like, I didn't really take basketball that seriously. Like, I played a lot and I took it super seriously, but I didn't know where I could go with it. And I was kind of like a small fish in I was a big fish in a small pond, but it wasn't a very big pond. Right? And so when I got to Canterbury, I didn't play. I was just playing defense for the first year. Like, I was just trying to get my feet wet and trying to figure out, like, there's players that are better than me, bigger than me, faster than me, stronger than me. And my second year is when I kind of figured it out, went to Dem Camp, did all the judo, like under 18, beyond 3. And that was like, kind of like my first introduction to the national team was set up. And then I killed that year EABL, and then it got to the point where I don't want to say, but like I kind of outgrew my situation where I was there was not much else I could do in that spot. We were playing Division 4 men's at the time, and I was averaging like 20 plus. At that point, I needed to get somewhere where I was challenged more. So at the time, Jesse, obviously very good friends with Lloyd and James, and obviously Lloyd was a coach at Barfin at the time. So they recommended me to go. I went there for the year. It was good. It was hard the first couple of games because playing Division 1 men's was a big step up. Obviously, back then you had guys like Zaire Taylor, Alex Arumi, Luck were a powerhouse back then. Like, we were a team of 18, 19-year-old guys versus grown men every week. We held our own. The first couple of games were a little bit difficult, but I ended up figuring out a little bit more. I was in the gym a lot, in the weight room a lot, trying to figure out my body and stuff because I would already finished school. So for me, like, I was essentially a pro before I was in college. I was just doing everything I could to get myself ready to get out there.
What do you think it was like the biggest shift? Was it like the lifestyle, like doing the weights, going through all the extra trainings, or was it the competition, sort of facing the elite competition more regularly, I suppose? What helps you accelerate and grow fastest?
I think it was a mix of both because prior to like 16, 17, I never lifted weights before. So I was skinny, super slender. I was very athletic at the time, but I was getting pushed around a lot. A grown man sees a 16-year-old, he's going to push him around, which they did. It was just how it was. But, the lifting weights, pole was very good. I didn't really understand basketball. So a lot of terms were very alien to me at the time, which was a little bit embarrassing, but it was a learning curve as it is, because I feel like even now, a lot of these kids don't know any of the terms. They don't know a down screen, a pedger action, and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of comes alien to them. And so once I learned those, both of them kind of married together, kind of make it a little bit better of a more enjoyable slash kind of, what's the word, kind of straight line rather than yicking up and mid time.
Lloyd Gardner was giving you a lot of shine on the podcast that he was on recently. He's talked about you and about how he loves to see all of his old Barking kids doing so well now, but obviously how you're like really smashing him as well. He like said like how you gave Surrey like some serious numbers the last time you played. And what was it like playing for Lloyd? I suppose as a coach, he's someone who's held up quite high in terms of player development and really helping people grow the game. Was that a great relationship you had with him?
Yeah, definitely. I think because I've always had good coaches in my junior careers. So even when I was at secondary school, when I first started playing basketball, Alan Keane was my coach at the time, because he was running the basketball academy there. Went to Jesse, Billy, Adam, and then I went to Lloyd. And Lloyd's a very, very tactical coach, very strategical, but he's one that lets guys go. Like there's not much restriction in your abilities. He kind of puts frameworks in and lets guys be themselves in that framework. And I learned a lot from him because, he's a hard coach, and it's one of those respect situations where you don't push the line because you respect him so much. He respects you, you respect him. It's a mutual thing. And he just taught me a lot about basketball, and now I've kind of taken with me still to this day.
And you were mega successful when you were there, and obviously you went to the Hoops Fix All-Star Games a couple of years in a row, didn't you? So yeah, again, playing with like the top of the top. At what point did you start to think college is like a serious route for me? That's something I would want to explore.
Oh, see, the thing is, I did all my UCAS stuff. End of my year, like I was ready to go to uni. I got a couple unconditionals. I was going to go to Loughborough, do sports science. I don't know why I didn't really have much interest in it. The standard basketball guy goes to Loughborough. But it was about midway through the 17, 18 year, midway through. And then the Euros that year, I started to get like a couple schools talking to me. I had Fresno Pacific, Newbury College were like the main two, and then a bunch of like smaller Jupos and stuff. And I was kind of like, once the first one came in, I said, okay, like this is something I can genuinely pursue, because I just didn't know the process. I didn't know anybody that went. I'd only ever seen guys on Hoops Fix that had gone and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't see it as impossible, but I very much an afterthought compared to what other things were. But as I started seeing guys my age go, and guys that I've played against, I've done well against, I'm like, I could do it too.
Yeah. I'm going to ask, right? So, and again, just want your honest thoughts of this. And there's a lot of conversation happening right now about how much of a positive thing is it for British kids to go to American universities. So for some people, they'll say that's the natural part of like their development. It's great right now in terms of like NIL and kind of what's there. But there's also a large group of people who are a little bit sour, who say things like, these British kids, they're going off to American universities thinking they're going to make the NBA. They get there and they kind of waste 3 years on like an education that doesn't really pan out. I suppose, I know you're not too far removed from being kind of a graduate and stuff like that, but I suppose how does that feel to you, that kind of debate?
See, I've done it now. So like I did 5 years. I got my undergrad, I got my master's, and I got it for free. So yeah, I mean, I managed to do 5 years of higher education for free to be able to play basketball. Whereas, it's a lot of money you go into debt with. I've been seeing a lot of debates about the interest rates on student loans. Guys are more in debt than they were paying off money. It's years and years later, and you got to think a lot of people in general, even if your aspirations aren't to make it to the NBA or aren't to go professionally, to leave and go abroad to live by yourself is a huge experience for a lot of people, because a lot of people won't be able to experience a different culture. You're able to live there, get paid to be there, see a different culture of basketball first off, be able to experience essentially being a rock star. In these big schools, you're a rock star. These regular people see you as they're LeBron James. You're accessible to them. And for people to be like, oh, you're wasting your time, a lot of them haven't been. So they can't give you that you're wasting your time. I'd always recommend going to college if that's an option for you. If you do a year pro and go college after, I'd always recommend doing some form of something, unless you've gone straight to the high levels. That's how I would see it.
Sure, man. That's really solid advice. And like I say, you're somebody who like really journeyed around, right? You went to 4 different universities or 4 different colleges when you're out in the States, and played in like a mix of NCAA, Division 2, Division 1, NAIA. I suppose, what was it like transitioning into that kind of American environment and all the different schools and the different experiences? What did you learn out there?
When I first got there, because again, when I was at Barking, I took lifting super serious. I'd be in the gym like 7 a.m., 3-4 times a week lifting. I try to get in the gym as much as possible, basketball wise. That's another debate. I don't think kids these days play enough basketball. I don't think so. I don't think they just go in there and just play. Like, there's not enough runs. They're not in there doing individuals with their coaches. They're not lifting weights. And it really showed, I think. So when I got out there, physically, I was fine. Like, physically, I was perfectly fine. It was just adjusting to the different rules of the basketball, because European basketball and American basketball is obviously officiated different. In college, you have the one-on-one rule, the travels are different. It took me a couple of games, because, at that point when I was coming into my Division 2, I was starting the first little portion of my season. And I was doing well, but I was having a turnover issue. So that it got to a point where the biggest thing you learn when you get into college, that you need to kind of fit that role that they give you. Otherwise, it becomes a different situation. If you don't fit that role, that mold, they think you end up sitting. And fortunately, I didn't need to sit in that role that was given to me at my Division 2. I didn't feel like I was growing. So I ended up transferring actually to a small JUCO in Williston, North Dakota. I only played there for 6 months. I had an issue with the coach. Me and him didn't get along. I had a bunch of stuff going on in my family and stuff, so that collided. I ended up leaving the semester. And then I was kind of done with basketball. That was kind of this. With everything going on, the world was crumbling apart. I said, you know what? I'm done with basketball. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get everything sorted out. Life in general. And then I got some help from a bunch of people, and then I picked up a school in Missouri, NAI school. And again, my role was completely different. I'd gone from averaging 7 points a game in my Division 2. I was one of the high touted guys at my JUCO. And then now the coach says, you know what? We're not winning. Come and be our scorer. It was great. It's lovely being the guy, being given the ball, do whatever you want, whenever you want. And because he trusted in my abilities, I was able to, win a lot. The first year, I only played half a season. That was still a little bit of a shaky one. But the next year I came back, ran through the NAI. I was 13 All-American. I was almost Player of the Year. We made the national tournament. And I'm a big believer. Trust of coaches makes a lot of trust internally from people. And so, again, the physical aspect was fine for me. Everything was good. And then after that year, this is when the biggest adjustment was. I went up to Division 1. Went up to University of Montana. That was kind of like always my dream, because I had guys that I played with that I was like, we're averaging the same numbers, do the same thing, we're kind of the same build, whatever, and you're going, I can do it too. So I got to Montana, and there's a lot of politics at that higher level of basketball. You need to fit, you need to fit that role, because that coach's job's on the line, or if he doesn't think you're doing it, whatever his perception is your reality, unfortunately. Whatever he thinks is going on is what's going on. There is no debating it. You're going to lose. So I was playing a decent amount my first preseason, but then I just started dropping, and it's hard. So it was a different type of adjustment. I was adjusting to not playing, adjusting to like the mental side of it, which is hard because I've never really been good. and then not been looked at as good. So I was end of the bench. I'm talking 12th guy. There was periods where I wasn't playing at all. I was getting DMPs. I was coming with like 10 seconds left. And I said, you know what? End of the year finished. I spoke to my coach. I said, thank you for the opportunity. I want to go pro. I want to do all these things. And I still want to get my academics sorted out. So I was like, look, if I'm able to finish my degree, at this point I was doing my master's. And I told him, I said, look, you know, a lot of these credits aren't going to transfer to other schools, but it'd be great if we can work something else. I can finish my master's while I play it somewhere else. And thankfully, great guy, amazing human being, Travis DeCure, great guy. He paid for my last classes to finish. I was able to knock those out when I transferred to a small NA high school, University of Cumberland, where the coach, Carl Bush, had seen me play in England years back when he was traveling. He was in Scotland at the time. So we'd already had a little connection there. Went there and the role had changed again. Now I'm back to like be the culture change for us, be someone that's going to come in, you know, to fresh with something, like show the guys what real leadership is, and then be yourself. You've done it before, do it again. And so that's what we did. We ended up, I played well that year. I obviously wanted to play better, but I knew that when your team's winning, everybody eats. So we got to the point where we were, I think we were 28-5. We made it to the Sweet 16. I was player of the year in my conference. I was first team All-American. And yeah, it's college was it was a ride. That's the best way to put it. And a lot of the time I kind of got I got too invested in other
Raw deal. Sounds like a raw deal.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I got a little bit too invested in other people's journeys at the time where I was like, I'm better than him. Why is he playing more at this school and I'm not playing at this school? And I think that definitely did have an adverse effect mentally because, you know, what's comparisons with D for joy? I saw at certain points I couldn't enjoy my actual moment because I was worrying about what other people are doing when I'm not playing, whereas I could be doing things that put me play with them. So yeah, college is a very interesting adjustment that you have to be very, very ready mentally and physically to go through a lot.
Yeah. And it sort of talks to, like you say, like that situation and that fit is so important. And it's something that sometimes maybe isn't always represented to kids who are thinking about going out to college or want to start their journey. You know, they hear all of the good things that a coach says to them and all the positive things. You know, you're going to be the star, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. It's this sort of dream. I suppose when you were going through all of this, did you have like a support network or people around you? Who were like the voices that you trusted to be like, hey man, this is the way to go?
So my support system was kind of myself at the time when it came to like the recruiting thing. I had a couple like OGs, so a guy called Kill Irving, he's regularly for Asia, he used to play in the DBL years back. Lloyd was helping me out a little bit, so was James. But my first go around, because I didn't have that many schools, I kind of took the best one for me. But later on, I figured out who's lying to me, figured out who's telling the truth. It's like, I compare recruiting to dating. Everybody wants to get to know you. Everybody wants to, they will give you that initial spiel to end up getting a relationship with them and realize that it might be a little bit crazy or this doesn't fit this. And so I kind of, as I went on, I kind of have, even now, I'm going to share this on Instagram later on, but I have like a 10 question step that kids should ask coaches. Ask them off it. Some of them are hard questions, some of them are easy questions, but you have to be able to weed out these questions because these are the people that you're essentially signing your life to for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? He's essentially your parent, or he or she is essentially your parent while your parents are away because you're now in they're essentially your guardian. And so you have to be able to make sure your parents are all right with it. You're all right with it. You feel like this is a situation for you. But as I was going through the last portion, I said, man, I know you're lying to me. You're lying for me. You're lying to me again. I can't be bothered for this. And a lot of people don't ask other players because other players will tell you the truth. One thing I always tell guys, if a school's recruiting you, try and find the guy that's left and speak to him and see what he has to say because he has no reason. He has no reason to lie to you. He might tell you the good and the bad. He might just tell you the bad. But you'd rather hear the bad because everybody's going to tell you the good. So
Yeah, it's really solid advice, man. I really love that. And like you say, it's really interesting. I'm a firm believer, like, age isn't everything. Do you know what I mean? I've met some really mature 18-year-olds, and I've met some really immature, like 35-year-olds. So, it's always down to the person. But trying to make a decision when you're 18 compared to when you're 20 and 22, even just like those couple of years of life experience, it makes sense that why you're able to, I suppose, see things differently and kind of that angle your college career. Interesting as well about the athleticism, because like you are a freak athlete. Like I went back and watched the dunk contest that you did, the hoops films, where you threw down like the two-handed windmill. Like
Oh,
you're
yeah.
an insane athlete, and that's always like the thing they say, and they say that America has the athletes, whereas Europeans have like the solid fundamentals and the toughness and those kind of things. Did you feel like your athleticism gave you like that easy transition into kind of the college game?
Yeah, definitely. Even like my change of speed, change of direction, jumping ability, obviously, speed. I wasn't, obviously some guys go and get shot. Damn, these guys are much faster, much stronger. They jump higher than me. I wasn't above. I was definitely like an elite athlete there, and I put myself in that elite category in America too. Especially in my height. Also there's some freak athletes. I'm talking about no warm up and slide to a 1 minute. But yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of kids, if you're not athletic, get strong. You're not strong, but strong. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Oh, too locker. Okay, so you're coming into the end of college. You've just had an awesome season, like you say, first team, All American. What is it like thinking, "Oh, I'm going to do this professionally," and how tough is it to get like the first professional contracts?
Oh man, it was a tough period because I'm into my graphic design at the same time, and so I got a few like colleges offer me jobs to come and be their graphic designer for their basketball teams. So I had teams like excuse me, I forget the teams, but UConn was one of them, and I had other teams coming in and out, and I'm like, okay, do I is it do I pursue the basketball and give up stuff that's on the plate? But here, come and take it. And I was like, you know what? The body only lasts so long that like the job's always going to be there. That's I always tell myself, I tell everybody, if you have an opportunity to do anything, do it, because the real world is going nowhere. Yeah. It's going nowhere in a hurry either, actually. And like, I've done everything that I'd ever wanted to. Like, I stayed in college for the 5th year, did my master's. Why would I rush? You're giving me a free master's and I get to pay for another year. And then when I was done, I have a lot of family in Denver, so I was in Denver for the summer, just working out. I signed with an agent right after the season finished in like April-ish. I wanted to get it done kind of quickly so you can get stuff rolling because, it's what's the word? There's a level oasis when it comes to teams. They kind of see Division 1 and think, you know what, Sparkly. He went Division 1, this is perfect. So you're already at a disadvantage coming from a Division 2 or any high school. Off rip. Like, you could be a first team All-American player of the year, You're still gonna get overlooked by the guy that averaged 9 points a game in Division 1. Just because he was at Division 1. And so it was a very, very hard summer for me. I had no solid offers. None at all. I went the whole summer calling my agent as much as possible. I'm like, hey, look, is there anything? Literally anything. And then I met with a team in Denmark. The coach, funnily enough, was from Denver. So he was in Denver at the time. He said, hey, let's go get some lunch. So he was talking to me. We were talking about it. And he said, look, I would have you on my team in a heartbeat. However, management can't get over the fact that you didn't play Division 1. Like, you didn't stay at Division 1 and finish your course there. And then also, they're kind of wary about your character because you've transferred a couple times. I said, okay, I understand what it looks like from the outside, but a conversation takes that all away to find out what actually happened in between situations. And then I also highlighted to him, look, every game I played, like actually had a genuine chance of playing a Division 1, I performed. It's that simple. Like we had a game against, at the time, I was at my first NAI at school, and we were playing BYE. BYE would just beat Oregon by 40. They were top 20, top 25 in Division 1 at the time ranking. I came in at 24. I had 7 from 11. I had a great game. And then we played Northern Kentucky my last year. I was shooting the ball, shooting the head out of the ball, played really well. And even at Montana, when I got like a genuine opportunity, I was putting out double digits more of some games. And I'm thinking, the film doesn't lie. It's just that simple. But, you know, when you don't finish these kind of things, it becomes difficult. So that ended up falling through. Then they gave me, I think, a team, and I don't know how true this was because I never got any papers or anything. My agent said a team in Spain has offered you like, I think like 600, 700 euro. I said, say no, because I can't eat. I'm very much.
You value up more well.
Yeah, like I bet on myself with everything in the world. You can see what my journey in life the whole, but you can't do anything with 700 euro. You can't. By the time you convert it, that's £550. I can't even save. At that point, I was spending more on food. So I said it has to make sense in some way. So that fell through, and then at that point, I'm in late August now, pushing almost September. I booked my flight home. Said, you know what? It's over with. Let me just go. I started applying for jobs, waiting for see what came through. I was just going to be one of those NBL D1 demons. I was going to come in and just abuse the Barking Abbeys. That's what I was going to
45 points tonight.
There we go. And then go home and go back to my 9 to 5. But funnily enough, so one of my friends now, Tom Child, I used to play against him when I was at Canterbury. He was at Barking. He was playing for Sligo in Ireland at the time. And he actually called Lloyd and said, hey, Lloyd, do you know of any English players still on the market looking for jobs? So I was like, okay. And then Lloyd said, JB's still on the market. You should look at him. They called me on a Thursday. They said, we need you here. I was there Saturday. It was quick turnaround. Yeah, quick turnaround, straight into it. Played, and then we played Cheshire that Friday. It was quick. We played in the preseason. So it's hard. It's very difficult because, again, the agent situation is hard because, you know, you rarely meet your agent when you're as a pro athlete. You rarely ever actually like meet your agent face to face. So a lot of stuff is done via phone call. So you have to build some rapport and trust through phone call, and that's difficult for anything. And so I put my trust in this one guy to find me all of this, and really and truly, he didn't find me anything. I found it through a spider web of connections through other people. So it's and again, the mental aspect came in. I'm looking at guys that I've killed all year, killed for all 5 years, that are signing for teams, signing here, signing there, and it hurt the mental for a minute. I turned off social media. I said, I can't keep looking at this because, you know, regardless of how strong you are mentally, to see others do something you know you can do or you should be able to do, it's hard. It's difficult. And, you know, it can put you in a weird space, but, you know, thankfully, praise everything. I came out and here I am now.
Yeah, appreciate that, brother. And like I say, credit to you for like working through that, and, you know, hard work and talent is going to shine through. And it's weird, like you say, when people put the politics and put like the business side of basketball in front of like the talent and what the kid can do and what the opportunities are. I know I was listening to Ryan Richards talk about this recently, where he said like a similar thing where like he knew he could be in places, he knew he could dominate, but, you know, the things that he was being asked to do and how like people were like putting him in bad spots or bad situations or talking down to him. Just like, why am I going to trust you and put my body on the line for someone who's not showing me that respect? Do you know what I mean? See, but the Irish Super League feels like a really great place. Like, there are lots of people who are like transitioning in and out of it. Obviously, you've come from there into Bristol this season, but also we've had players like Josh Steele and RJ Eitlerock that are over there right now, you know, I'm playing. So it feels like actually it's a quality league, you know.
Yeah.
The Irish is.
Yeah, I didn't know much about it. I knew nothing about it, honestly. I kind of just took what I was given and I kind of ran with it. Thankfully, it was a good situation because obviously Tom had been there a couple of years. Um, Jamie Hayes had been there previous year as well. So it's not like it's not like I was going there by myself. I didn't know what I was going to expect. Guys were there, invested for. And it was good because it was one of those things where, again, the road. I was brought in to be a very big asset to the team. And that's what I did. I struggled a little bit at the start, as you do, because it's different lifestyle, different side of basketball. But I was also like extremely hungry to get there. Extremely hungry to get there. Because I felt disrespected by the whole basketball market, everybody, because you guys just think I must suck. And I was like, okay, I understand. But yeah, so it was a fun one. It's a 2 American league, so 2 Americans per team, and it was very good nationals. At the time, there was a rule, so you had to have 1 Irish guy on the court at all times. So a bunch of the Irish national team play in Ireland. So a lot of the guys, obviously, they get a lot of playing time. They get to do what they do at the same time. So it was definitely a fun year. Interesting, but fun year.
Dude, you crushed it, bro. You're being way too modest right now. You scored like 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. You're like, oh, it was fun. You crushed it, bro.
Yeah, man. It was good. It was good, man. It was good to get to play because we managed to do a lot. I think we made it to the cup semi-final, first time the Cubs have been that far. Yeah, it just felt good. Felt good to be able to be let free. You know what I mean? And I did what I had to do, which was the best part. So
you sort of mentioned there, like, you were out to prove a lot of people wrong, that they should have chosen you, they should have bet on you. And I think that's really relatable to a lot of people. A lot of people they're fighting to prove someone wrong, or to prove, hey, I can do this. Do you feel vindicated by the fact that you were so successful in Ireland, and obviously that led to the opportunity here in the SLD? Or do you still feel like, actually, I'm still grinding. I'm still
okay.
Up.
Still grinding because I expect a lot from myself. I feel like, I know in a few years I'm gonna be playing at high level of basketball. I just know it myself. My work's gonna show. It's gonna show in the game. It may take a little bit, but it's gonna show. And I'm one person it's never come easy for me. So everything I've got in life as a whole, in basketball and everything, has come from hard work and being in difficult situations. So this is no different. Everything is, to me, a stepping stone and it may be hard now. I'm gonna look back at it like, okay, that was needed for me to be in the situation I'm in right now. So
okay, you mentioned as well, you were part of the GB program, under 18s. You've done stuff in 3x3. From my perspective, from the outside looking in, I'm not an elite basketball player. I have no connections to it, anything like that. But I would say, like, it has some real holes, and like some real things that are letting down players who are kind of going in that system, and particularly like young players who are kind of making decisions. When you were going through your journey, I suppose, did you have support from GB and kind of people in there? Do you feel like they helped you, I suppose, get to where you wanted to be?
Well, I wouldn't really say yeah. I kind of had coaches that were on my side anyway. So I had guys like Jesse, Lloyd, that were kind of looking out for my best interest when it came to basketball in general. And for GB, the most fun I had playing was obviously 3-on-3 when I was a little younger. I didn't really play under 18s because I just didn't really play. I was just there, made the team, sit on the bench most of it. I didn't really enjoy myself. It was cool to put on a jersey and represent. It's a lovely thing, but I think it was hard because I was riding, I was doing well, and then to sit down wasn't really fun. And then I chose not to play 20s. Coach didn't even know my name. So I was like, I was on the squad, but the coach didn't even know my name. So I was like, I'd rather just go straight to college and start my college career there. And then the next year was COVID. So other than that, I haven't really played.
That's wild, bro. That's crazy, isn't it? Like,
Bit different now. I mean,
Let's talk Super League basketball then, because you're here now. Did you have options, I suppose, coming out of Ireland? Were you considering different teams, or was it Andreas made the call to you? You thought it's Bristol, it's a great spot, let's go for it.
So I had a few like interests from all around the continent. Really, I was all bunch of places. Cheshire were actually the first team to come involved, which is kind of cool to have a little bit more like interest from other teams rather than just taking the last thing possible. So yeah, Cheshire came in first. Great people over there. And then Bristol came in a few weeks later. And I feel like out of all the teams in general, like from all around that were kind of interested in showing interest and stuff like that, Bristol was the best situation for me. I think they had a great track record with British guys like obviously Evan, Julani, Tevin Ollison went to Cumberland before I did, so we knew of each other. So talking about it, I was like, European basketball, an opportunity to actually carve out a good role here. Andreas is a great coach, good people, cares about his players. And Bristol as a whole has a great community that really care about their players and their situation. So once I figured out, and I said, you know what, this is somewhere I could generally put myself in a good stuck in school for the next year, even one a bit.
And like you say, the culture in Bristol, again, outside looking in, it looks fantastic. And I'll always point to, a little bit jokingly, but like the difference in Cam Holden from when he was in Cheshire, and he looks like absolutely miserable, and he's like, everyone's like super frustrated with him. So when he goes to Bristol and he finds his joy again, very like Jimmy Butler-esque, he finds his joy and he's back doing sort of good Cam Holden things. It looks like the team is really together and really gelled.
Yeah.
Living that on the inside, is this like one of the closest teams that you've been on?
Oh, by far. Like most teams I've been on has at least one guy. Everybody in this team is genuinely great people. Like from 1 through 12, everybody's amazing. Like everybody hangs out with each other. Everybody jokes around with each other. Everybody, if I was to say, hey guys, let's go get a meal or something, I could pick generally anybody and be perfectly fine with going out with anybody. Like, and I think it definitely shows in more strenuous situations and more, tougher games, because you can tell teams that don't like each other in those kind of situations. You can tell teams that actually gel together and actually generally like each other because the game comes a little easier. And this is one of the most enjoyable teams I've been on from a team perspective, for sure.
And in terms of like the season itself, we just looked like domestically, Bristol have been like one of the major surprises in Super League basketball. Like I rated the team as kind of like a 5th, 6th seed, sort of coming into it, but coming like straight out of the gates, you guys have been like shit hot. Like, that first couple of months running up to the end of 2025, you were sitting solidly in kind of second place in the standings. Everyone felt like they were bought into what was happening. It felt like a lot more of the offense was flowing. I suppose, how did you start off so well? Was it just the chemistry was there, and so it was working really well straight away?
I think definitely the chemistry, and guys, everybody's hungry on our team. Everybody's hungry to win and hungry to do whatever it takes to win. And it shows because we were beating teams comfortably at the start, and I know even now we're picking it back up. We're gonna start beating teams comfortably too. And I think it's that everybody knows what they can do and what other people can do, and we're all bought in, which is the biggest thing. And I think we caught that quick. Everybody loves it. Everybody likes everybody. The chemistry was showing quick, and I think that's a credit to everybody and the coaching staff, especially the coaching staff. You're able to bring, recruit the right people, because it's hard in professional basketball. Sometimes it's hard to recruit good people and good basketball players. So it's a credit to them for bringing in genuinely good people, and it definitely shows.
This season, there's a little bit of slide in January. Like you say, you guys are picking it back up, but obviously you've been sort of bolstered or lifted by the team bringing in both Evan Walsh, so Evan Walsh returning to the team, and also bringing in Cam Kristen. I suppose both from like a team perspective, how are they lifting you up, but also from a personal perspective, do you see them as, or I suppose how do you not see them as, I'm fighting these guys for minutes and I'm trying to, I'm not sure the right way to phrase it, but I suppose when those players come in, are you seeing them as just, they're here to make the team better? Or are you seeing it as actually like, I need to prove that I'm still the 6th man coming off the bench, that kind of stuff?
I think it's one of those where when you're going through, a couple game losing streak, we need anything to win. It's one of those, and you know, when you bring in very experienced guys like both of them, they can't do anything but help us. And so for me, I was just happy, you know, happy to have other guys on our team. And even for me, it still kind of lit something in me that like, I need to make sure I'm still on my P's and Q's, because I still want to be someone that's able to affect the game in a positive manner. I don't want to be able to, you know, I don't want to start not being able to do myself. I still want to be able to be the sick man. I still want to be able to keep it going and keep going. So it's been a fire for both the team and for myself. And I can affect the game in many different ways, defensively or offensively. So I think it's a situational thing. Defensively, I could be guarding someone so well that I stay on. Offensively, the same thing. I could be impacting the game, scoring or getting guys open. So it's kind of one of those things where you never know. So I could be playing more one game because of myself, weekend less. But I'm happy to honestly just be able to play and be trusted to be on the court in any situation, obviously.
And what do you reckon is the ambition, I suppose? What's the ceiling for the team? Obviously, you're not in the trophy's finished. London won the trophy. SLB Cup, unfortunately, you exited in the quarterfinals. I suppose, what are the ambitions for the second half of the season?
Honestly, finish top 4. And I think we can definitely do that. Honestly, I would personally want to push for top 2. Because right now, even in the league right now, it's us. Like, we control our destiny right now in the league. Because everybody's very close, but guys who seem to drop in games. And it's genuinely on us now. And I think we can start separating ourselves. And we want to obviously push for the playoff title.
Yeah, no. Honestly, that would be amazing. Seeing Bristol like go through to like the semis or something like that. Okay, so I want to flick then. So a little bit of fun then. If that's cool with you, play a quick game of dunk, flunk, or debunk. So if you agree with what I say, you're gonna dunk it. If you hate what I say, you have to flunk it.
Okay.
Or you can debunk it if it's just a little bit wrong. A little bit wrong. Okay. So flunk, dunk, or debunk, Adi Adebayo is the best UK hooper you've played against.
I say flunk because I played against Jeremy Sohan, but the one that plays, well, now used to case the Spurs. And then Tosan, a woman that's now with the Hornets.
He's just with the Hornets, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. Based on dunk, flunk, or debunk, Cam Holden is the toughest defender you've ever seen.
Ooh. In my pro career or in just my career in general?
Let's go pro career.
Uh,
Because he gets a lot of shine.
Yeah,
you've seen him up play.
Very good defender. Debunk. I'll debunk that one.
Okay, so how about this one? Bristol is your favourite place that you've lived so far.
I'd say home. Home is my favorite place.
Okay, well. Oh, as well. Okay. Owen McCormack is the best 3-point shooter on your team.
Oh, dunk for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I thought you back yourself there.
Oh, I'll back myself for sure. But Owen does have an absolute burner on him. I will say Owen can shoot the stripes off the ball.
He can shoot last year. Like, he started knocking him down this year. I was like, whoa, where was that?
Hey, that's a real shooter for real, honestly. Big threat on the pick and pop as well.
Yeah, he's awesome. Got a lot of time for him. Love him. Okay, dunk, flunk, or debunk. Everyone should cut their own hair.
Dunk, for sure. For sure. But that would take barbers out of the way, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Barbering is a very lucrative job if you're good at it. So I'll debunk it, actually. I'll debunk it because I feel like some guys aren't competent enough to be able to do it from the back. So it might be very difficult. So.
Okay, last one. Dunk, flunk, or debunk. Bristol Flyers will win the SLB playoff title this season. Smash it in. Love it, bro. Love it. Dude, this has been awesome, man. Just chatting to your experience. And I think it's so relatable to so many people, you know, wherever you are on that journey. And I just wanted to touch as well, like, obviously you do loads of things. Like, I have immense jealousy at your graphics that you're able to create and how you're able to do that. Because, like, I'm like I'm on Canva doing like some weak stuff, and then I look over and I'm like, wow, how's he done that and done all the other stuff? But particularly like Instagram and the TikTok, how do you find time to do all that stuff, man? Is that just like you love doing it, or is that the side hustle?
It's just on the side. It was kind of an accident. I was in where was I? I was at Montana at the time. Wasn't playing, and I was like, you know what? TikTok's fun to me. So let me make a video about me not playing, about me on the bench, nonsense, and they got like 1 million views on TikTok. But I was kind of wary to post it on Instagram. So I was like, Instagram's a different demographic than TikTok. So I don't think TikTok really like, not like everybody's having silly stuff, but Instagram I was like, So I spoke to my boy one day. I said, bro, do you think I should post it? He's like, yeah, forget it, just post it, bro. Posted it, got like 5 million views. And from then onwards, I was just posting funny stuff and it really doesn't take that long. So it's just now it's made me a little bit of pocket change here and there. I enjoy it, and like now that I'm not in that situation, not playing stuff, I'm switching up my content a little bit. I'm doing food, I'm doing lifestyle, still making the funny videos at the same time. So yeah,
That's good, man. And honestly, I think it's what makes you such like a well-rounded person. Do you know what I mean? And people get an insight into you. And I'm a big UFC fan, and like Alexander Volkanovski is like a great example of like he does it as a show, Cooking with Volk. And so like people know him now because he cooks rather than because he goes out and smashes people on the weekend. Like, oh, dude. For all the people though who want to follow you, who want to connect with you, who want to message you, I suppose where's the best place that they can do that?
yeah. So follow me on Instagram, jbrown235. I'm always checking my requests, always replying to kids, adults, whatever. So there's not many people that are willing to tell you about what actually goes on or willing to give you advice. I'm always happy to help. You can follow me on TikTok. Again, same thing. Watch my videos and message me afterwards. So those are the main 2 things, yeah.
Nice, absolutely love that. And if you're a young hooper thinking about it, JB has an awesome series right now, all about like underdog advice. I've probably butchered the name, but yeah, underdog advice about about how to get noticed by coaches, how to put together your footage in a way that's going to attract people and pull people in. So definitely check that out if you're a young hooper thinking about what's my next step. But appreciate your time, JB, and for everyone listening, catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.